Okay. Hi, Divas and Boos. This is Shay, Your Love Diva, and we are going live today on our Wednesday live days. And let me try to see if I can adjust this so you guys can see me. All right. Okay. Bear with me, you guys, because I was not feeling well at all. Like, I had the worst headache ever. So if I'm looking busted, that's why. Anyway, also excuse my voice because, as you know, I had surgery recently and my voice is still trying to come back. So as we are waiting for our friends to get on, I'm going to start soon, shortly. You guys are just looking all up in the house, huh? And as you come on, please leave a heart emoji. Leave a heart emoji as you come on to let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're ready. We're going to be sharing a lot of great stuff, okay? Because this is the biggest destroyer of potentially great relationships. We're going to be discussing what to do when your fear is so strong that you are unable to really allow love into your life. So we're going to be discussing that and going through not only what it stems from, but also we're going to discuss what are some solutions to help cure you of that. Now, you guys know me. You know how I roll, and love is. We were created to love. We were brought on this planet to experience love in physical form as spiritual beings. And so let's start to get into why it is that we reject love. And part of us might want love because that's a human need. There's a human need to be loved. But we find ourselves in this push and pull and this tug of war of if we are going to be open to love or not. So I can't tell you how many times that I have coached people who were absolutely opposed to being in a relationship. To them, being in a relationship was the scariest thing. They called it all kinds of different things. I don't need the drama. There's no good men. I don't have time for that. I have so many things going on in my life. So you have all of these excuses and things that people say on why they won't allow love to come into their life. And all of that is to mask a fear. Hi, Pam. Welcome on. You guys, if you would leave a heart emoji, leave me a heart emoji. That's what gives me fuel. That's what helps to inspire me to keep doing what I do. So when you drop that heart emoji, that means you are sending love. Okay, bear with me as I adjust my flower because, I don't want folks talking about me right now. Okay. All right. So you have a lot of individuals. Thank you so much. Sending you love. You have a lot of individuals out there who are terrified of love. Women, how many times have you gotten into a relationship with a man and he just could not commit? And his whole thing is, oh, it's because of my past and it's because somebody hurted me in the past. Or you have women, the Miss Independent women. I don't need a man. I got my own car, my own house, my own toy, my own everything. So I don't need a man because, again, they associate a lot of negativity when it comes to relationship. So we're going to dive right in to the source, the why, and the how to fix it. So here's the deal. I'm about to teach you guys something. So if you can get a paper and a pad, please be ready to take some notes. Now, every human being on this planet has two fears. Every fear that they say they have comes down to these two fears. These are the two number one top fears. These are the fears that drive our behavior when it comes to when we're interacting with people, when we're interacting and attracting relationships. It all comes down to these two fears. The second top fear is the fear that I am not enough. The fear that I am unworthy. That is the number two fear of being unworthy, of feeling like you are not good enough. The number one fear is, as a result of not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough. Hey, Keita, welcome on. The number one fear is that because I am not enough, I won't be loved. We all have a fear of not being loved. We all have a fear of not being accepted. This is survival, people. This is tribal. That's why people need to be in a group. People need friendships. People need to have other people in their life that really care about them, because you can say you're a loner, you can say you don't need people, and all of that sounds good on paper, but in reality, you wasn't created for that. And it becomes old and lonely after a period of time. So you were created to love and be loved. A boat was created to go out into the ocean. It is much safer for the boat to stay in the harbor. However, comma space, that is not what the boat was created for. Is there a risk when a boat goes out into the shore? Absolutely. There's always risk. Is there risk when we open ourselves up to love? Abso-freaking-lutely. There are risks. There are risks that we will experience disappointment. There are risks that because of those disappointments, we will be hurt. And there is a risk that we learn something about ourselves that we don't like and that we did not know. But we don't die, though. We don't die due to a heartbreak. And with each experience of a relationship, you simply learn more. That relationship, and people like to always put so much pressure on relationships, like it has to work, or I had another failed relationship, or I can't have a failed relationship. What does that mean? What is a failed relationship? Two individuals who determine that they are not right for each other, that's success, people. That's success. When you can look at it and say, I care about you. I may even love you, but we are not the right people for each other. So I'm going to release you with love and move on. And with that, I take the gift of everything that I learned about myself and about loving another individual. I take the gift of learning what it is that I want and what it is that I don't want. So we never really fail at relationships. And the end of a relationship is not a failure. It is a success if you can stand back up and identify what it is that you learned from the experience. But let's talk about the source. Let's talk about the source of why there are people, why maybe even you might be one of them, who are just completely afraid. And you call it different things. You know, your friends who are perpetually always single, or the friends that are always negatively talking about the opposite sex, or the friend who are always jumping from one relationship to another. I'm talking about the people who have a fear of commitment. I'm talking about the people who will let a good man or a good woman go because underneath all of their behavior, it's fear. So it stems from either one of these, okay? Everything that we do when it comes to relationships, it stems from what we experienced as a child. So if as a child you experience being rejected, if as a child you experience being abused, or you experience watching a parent being abused, or you experience watching a debilitating, destructive relationship, sometimes it's not even your own parent. Sometimes it's a close family. Maybe it's an uncle and you watch them and your uncle says, don't get married. Or your aunt says, never trust men. And that thought lodges itself into your subconscious mind. And so now when you attract a relationship, because that's what it is, when you attract that relationship that breaks your heart, somewhere in your subconscious mind, you attracted that. Maybe you attracted it because of something you believe about yourself that you're not aware of, or maybe you simply attracted it based on what you had not known at the time. So again, the relationship is coming to bring you an experience of healing. And so now, based on your beliefs that are subconscious, you attract an experience in which now you're attracting an abuser. You see your mom get abused, you see your parents being abusive, now you attract an abuser. Not a surprise there. Or you seem to attract a relationship where there's a lot of drama, a lot of strife, a lot of negativity. And I know there's some of you that will say, well, my parents were great, or my parents, or there was no problems in my family, and I still keep attracting abuser in negative situations. But it's funny what our mind knows. It's funny what we can recognize subconsciously, but not consciously acknowledge. So I have known of situations in which somebody grew up in a household and two parents were together, and it seemed on the outside that they loved each other, but really on the inside, they didn't really like each other. They didn't sleep in the same bedroom, or the husband was having an affair. There are some kids who witnessed one of the parents having an affair or found out about the affair. And again, that lodges itself, that belief into their mind. So then you attract a relationship that you're not really happy with. And now, based on that disappointment from that failed relationship, you attribute your behavior in all future relationships based on that negative experience and use that to justify you staying scared and you not being willing to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to be loved, or as you think, hurt again. But here's the thing. As you're building that heart wall, as you're building that wall to prevent anybody else from loving you, because in your mind and in your world, that means that keeps you safe, you are only allowing yourself to continue to hurt yourself. Because as you are repelling the so-called negative experiences, you're also repelling the positive. You're also repelling the love experiences that are amazing, that will lift your soul to amazing heights. You're repelling all of your good, all because you're afraid of experiencing some bad. It's kind of like when you're having a baby. And so those of us who are mothers, we understand the pain of giving birth to a child, or the discomfort when our feet swells, or trying to sleep at night when we have this big old belly. However, at the end of all of that, you have the blessing of another life. And it's the same thing when it comes to relationships. When it comes to relationships, and I can tell you personally, I've been through some stuff. Now, I've been open with you guys with sharing what I have been through in relationships. I have been abused. I have been cheated on. I have been choked. I have been slapped. I have been punched. I've been left as a single mother. I have been hungry. I've slept on floors. I have been through some things. I have witnessed some things as a child. Severe disappointment when it has come to my father, and not just when I was a child, but disappointment even as an adult, like hoping that he would be different. Even from my mother, the disappointment of not getting the love that I felt that I should be getting from a mother. All of those things, you can take that and you can say, you know what? I don't want to love again. I'm done with relationships. I don't have time for the drama. I'm better by myself. I can do bad by myself. You know, all the different sayings that we said. But I decided to say, I refuse to allow anybody, including my parents, to stop me from having the love that I know that God has for me. And I kept trying. I would fall. I would try again. I would fall again. I would keep trying. And I would keep trying over and over and over and over again. And by the grace of God, I was lucky enough, fortunate enough, blessed enough. Eventually it was going to happen, really, if we tell the truth, to finally attract my soulmate. And the irony is, check this out. My soulmate happened to be there all along. He happened to be somebody that I knew since I was 14 years old. He happened to be that, you know how sometimes we put guys in the friend zone and we're like, oh, never. I wouldn't look at him. I wouldn't think about him. And that often it happens like that, where it's the person that you would least expect to be that one for you. Because you're always, because based on our subconscious programming, and again, I've taught you guys this in the past videos, everything that drives our behavior, everything that drives our thoughts, drives our beliefs, drives our feelings is based on our subconscious mind, our subconscious programming. And due to the law of homeostasis, whatever it is that is in our subconscious mind as a norm, then we are going to attract that into our life, because homeostasis is the natural tendency to go back to what is normal for us, to what makes sense to us. So if you saw your mom getting in and out of negative relationships, then you are going to likely do the same thing. If you saw your father abuse your mother, then it's highly likely that you're going to attract an abuser, because we have to heal that thought body first in order for us to attract a healthy relationship. We have to get to a point, and you don't have to be in an abusive relationship in order to heal that thought body. Some of us are forward enough to think, like, you know what? I think I should get counseling. I think I should get help. I think I need to do something, anything, so that I can reprogram my subconscious thoughts, because I know it's, listen, you guys, I just read an article the other day, and it was talking about how children who grow up in abusive households or grow up abused, they have a form of PTSD because of that, post-traumatic stress syndrome. It is traumatizing. And sometimes we don't know. Like, we think we're operating fine. We got our money, we got our cars, we got our jobs, we got our kids, we got everything. And then up pops the baby, and we're crying for a reason that might seem odd to other people. And we're behaving in a certain way that we can't even understand ourselves. That's because that pus, that infection that has never been healed, that experience, that memory that keeps coming back and directing your behavior, keeps coming back to haunt you, and it affects your relationships. How many of you have been in a relationship with somebody great and you left them, you lost them, or you did something to sabotage the relationship because of your subconscious mind, because of homeostasis? That means that you have to do what is necessary in order to heal it. And I have a solution for you. I have something for you to help you with that. But first, let's talk about what you can do, okay? Now, after you do all of this and you having troubles, or if you want to turbocharge your healing of your subconscious mind because you're in a healthy relationship now, you finally was able to attract somebody who loves you, and you know that you might still have some stuff there and you don't want to sabotage it, you want to have a healthy relationship, or you might be single and you're like, why am I always single? I don't understand. Why is it that I can never attract a good person? That's why. That's why. Because just think about it. How many billions of people live in this country? Just in this country alone, let alone the world. Billions of people live in this country. Out of all those billions, you can't attract somebody? I know you're not believing the hype that there aren't any good men, that they're all dead, gay, or in jail. I know you're not believing those lies. And the other lies are, we're not good enough, or we're not pretty enough, or we're not tall enough, or skinny enough, or fat enough, or thick enough, or whatever the enough is. Because all of that, divas, are nothing but lies. Because when you tune your frequency to the frequency of attracting a healthy relationship, then it has no choice but to come into your life. It has no choice. You created a magnetism. So what can you do? And let me get some water because I'm perched, y'all. Bear with me. We had some people join. Hi, Rhonda. Flower Bomb. Oh, I like that name. That sounds cute. Dr. AKA. Love it. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm going to give you some solutions because here's the thing. As long as you associate more negatives with being in a relationship than positives, then you're going to stay single. That's what it comes down to. As long as you associate more negatives than positives, you're going to stay single. So I want you to take time now to think about, what does your life look like in 5 years, in 10 years, with you staying single? And now if you are tempted to say, oh, I'll be fine, I'm good. I have my friends, I have my family, I have my money, I have my cars, I have my job. I don't need a man. I don't need the drama. Take a deep breath, because if you're watching this video, you're watching for a reason. There's a reason why you're here, and you're not here by accident. So have the courage, have the courage to be willing to do something that might not necessarily be comfortable. Because at the end of the day, we all have been hurt. Everybody at one point or another has been disappointed or hurt in their life. But you have either two choices. You can either choose to allow that hurt to build a wall around your heart and to prevent anybody else from coming in your life and loving you the way you really want them to. You can use that wall to prevent you from having the kind of life that takes you to another level. Or you can use that experience of disappointment, of hurt. You can use that to be a learning lesson so that you have more discernment in the next relationship. You can use that experience to learn what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want. And then now, because you experienced that, you're like, thank you, Lord. I'm glad I didn't end up with him, or I'm not with him or her anymore. And now I know what it is that I will not tolerate. I know the signs of somebody who is crazy and deranged. And I'm thankful that I had that experience, because now I can move forward with attracting a healthy relationship. You can either choose to use it for a positive, that disappointment, or a negative. It's your choice. But at the end of the day, does anybody really deserve the power to keep you from experiencing love? Do they really? And here's the thing. You might decide, okay, Shay, you know what? I want love. I'm going to live on the edge. I'm going to live full out, and I'm going to take the risk, and I'm going to step out on faith and be open to receiving love. And after all of that, he can disappoint you again. He can hurt you again. And then now you're mad at me like, look, see what happens? See. But if you operate from a standpoint like, I don't care what I go through, because at the end of the day, I can slap a Band-Aid on it and keep it moving. If you operate with that mindset, I guarantee you, my loves, I guarantee you, eventually you will attract the love of your life. If you're willing to do the work to heal your stuff, if you're willing to do the work in order to align yourself to the frequency of attracting love, if you're willing to stand knowing that God created you for the best, and God said, greater, that ye shall have greater. That means everything, all the gifts of the universe shall be yours. And that most definitely includes love. So I am here to encourage you to not give up on love, no matter what you have been through. So we're going to go back to thinking about, where are you going to be at? Think about your life 5 years, 10 years from now. And you're going to the Christmas parties by yourself. And once again, you're rolling over in your cold bed by yourself. You got to allow yourself to be uncomfortable so that you can have what it is that you want. Make a list, take the time out even this evening to write a list of all of those things. And now let's talk about the positives, because there's a whole lot of positives to being in a relationship. So for those of you who are still on, can you please start listing some positives to being in a relationship? What are some positive aspects of being loved in a healthy relationship with your soulmate? So as you're listing your answers, I'm going to give you one of them. And you guys might think I'm crazy for this, but you guys, being single is expensive as hell, okay? It's very expensive. Think about it. 2 heads are better than one. And so when you have just yourself, let's think about it. Your rent is going to be, thank you, Akita, stability. So your rent, if it's $1,200, it's going to be $1,200, period. But if you have somebody with you, now instead of $1,200 just you, it's down to $600. Guess what both of you can do? You can both grow and save your money and build together. Yes, you can do it, but just because you can, should you? So that's one thing. That's right, it's cheaper. It's cheaper to be in a relationship. Now, again, you guys, I'm talking about a healthy relationship. Now, I've covered many times about being in a negative relationships. I've covered that. There's no excuse for staying in a negative relationship. This, again, I'm talking to you. If you're in a negative relationship, don't settle. Because some of us rather stay in known hells than to explore unknown heavens. be willing to step out on faith and go after what it is that you have been designed to experience. So, all right, stability, companionship, financial increase, regular sex partner. I know that's right. All of those things are benefits. And you guys, as you're typing this in, when you write things down, it solidifies it into your subconscious mind. And again, when you're writing things and you're willing to write things, then you increase your attraction power to attracting what it is that you want. So if you're on this line and if you're listening, and even in the comments, write down what are the benefits? What are the benefits of being in a healthy relationship? Go ahead and write it down. Friendship. That is a big deal. You have a friend, you have your best friend. It's like having a slumber party every night with your best friend. It is amazing how me and my husband are able to laugh and play together and experience the wonders of life. It's amazing. Traveling together. That's fun. To have a partner that you can travel with, it's way more fun to be able to kiss your man in front of the Eiffel Tower versus hug your friends. I'm just saying. A regular sex partner, ladies, some of you are out here falling on penises because you are horny and lonely. Now, I don't advocate that at all. We're spiritual beings. Allowing other spirits just up in your body like that just causes drama and negative experiences. Is not worth it. But to have the right person that you can have regular good sex with, that you don't have to be limited or restricted or wonder who is he sleeping with or who is he with or is he thinking about somebody else. It's just about you two creating that magic, that connection. Amazing. What else? Accountability to love someone else beside yourself. Oh my goodness. All of that right there. Let me tell you something. You don't grow by yourself. When you have somebody who's reflecting back to you the things that you need to heal about yourself, that's what allows you to grow. You know, the Buddhists have a saying that whoever shows up in your life is your master teacher. Whoever shows up as your partner is your master teacher. So when they do things that get on your nerves, ask yourself, what is it that's being triggered within me? What within me needs love and healing? Because when another person is able to hold that mirror up to you, you're able to look at yourself from another set of eyes and be like, you know what? I need to fix that. I don't need to be like that. I can always be better. Another person can help enhance you to be the best that you can be. What else do we have here? Being loved unconditionally. Oh my goodness. That is so true. To be loved unconditionally. To not just be out in this world by yourself. Okay, so you're single, you come home. Who you talking to? Okay, you call your girlfriend. That's an option. Or you call your mother. But honey, there's nothing like a man who is so into you and is willing to listen to you and encourage you and tell you, baby, you got this. And he's lifting you up and he's pushing you out there and he's supporting you in every way. There is nothing on the planet like that. What is another? Companionship? We said financial increase. That's true. And ladies, please, I'm saying all of this. I'm saying that you need to be open to love. I'm saying that you need to be courageous enough to love. Because again, it's easy to just be like, no, I'm going to be by myself. You don't grow like that. You're not going to grow. You don't have any risk at all. But when you're saying I'm willing to have the courage to put myself out there and to be open to receiving love, now that's courage. Being willing to say, you know what? Okay, if I get hurt, that's fine. I'll move on. I will survive like I have, and I will still be that more the wiser so that I'm even better for my husband who is on his way. Someone to share your life with. Love that. Prayer partner. Oh my God. Okay, so check this out. In the Bible, it says that when two or more are gathered together, that whatever they touch and agree and ask for shall be so. So when you have a partner who loves you dearly and you guys are spiritually aligned and you guys are able to come together regularly at night or in the morning or whenever and touch on the manifestation of something that you desire, my God, the attraction power is beyond anything you can comprehend. And I'm telling you, because me and my husband, we pray together at night. That is something that's a must in our household. And that's how we were able to manifest our house. That's how we were able to manifest our cars. That's how we were able to manifest our jobs. That's how we were able to manifest traveling to Paris and to Italy and to France and to Amsterdam. And you guys, it works. It works. And so even if we can shut this all down, if we left it at that, having a prayer partner, because let me tell you something, the vibration of love is so powerful and it's so strong that when you can combine that to declare something, you're unstoppable. Another secret, and we'll talk about this in another Wednesday Live, is sex. Another thing too is people manifest using sex with their spouses. When you come together and you're having sex, and I'm talking about real good sex, when you have an orgasm, the next time you have an orgasm with your partner, for those of you who are married or those of you who are in a committed relationship, I want you to breathe in together and then say out loud, because the vibration of your voice creates. I want you to say out loud that which it is that you want to manifest. So let's say that you want to manifest $25,000 for whatever. So together, we call forth the full manifestation and perfect expression of $25,000. This is right at the peak of your orgasm. You guys have to be in alignment. You can't think that it's weird. But when you speak it, then let me know how that works. Because you will increase your manifestation and your attraction power tenfold when you use sex to manifest. And there are people, you can Google it on YouTube, who are talking about that all day, every day, and how they use sex in order to manifest. Someone to share your life with, and continual support. Continual support. Let me tell you something, you guys. When I first started, because my day job is pharmaceutical sales, and this is part of what I love to do, being able to give back to you guys as a gift. I told God I'm open and receptive to being used as a vessel to help God's people to be able to have the love that God intended for all of us. That's what I gave. So whether if it's an income there or not, this is what I'm being called to do. And so as a pharmaceutical rep, when I first started my job several years ago, I knew that I had to make it happen. And so I asked my husband, I asked him to leave his job so that he can help support me, because I'm going to be working late. I'm going to need help being able to book certain meetings and do what I need to do. And my husband, you guys, he literally left his job, stayed home, was booking appointments, lunch appointments, Starbucks runs. He was doing all kinds of things in order to support me. When I was tired or when I was crying about an account that I couldn't really get the way I wanted to, he was the one that was like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't give up. Stay in the game. He was the one that was encouraging me. And at the end of my first year, I won my first President's Cup award with this company, because of the sacrifices that my husband, my partner, my soulmate, my ride or die, my best friend was willing to make for me. And that's what you do. You build together. So he helped build me up. And then once I got to a place where I was stable in my job and I got it, I created that momentum, or we created that momentum together. Then I turned around and helped him to be able to have a job where he was able to triple his income. That's what you do, you guys. When you're able to be in alignment in a healthy relationship, then now you're able to start creating magic. That's the reason why the saying that behind every great man is a great woman. A lot of times when a guy goes to an MBA or a young man goes to MBA, they encourage him to get a woman who's there, who's willing to support him, who's willing to hold the house down, who's willing to encourage him when he gets down and out, because that helps them perform better. There is a method to all of this. So I think I've driven home all of the benefits. You must breathe that in. You must know that there are way, way more benefits to being in a healthy relationship. And I have the tools for you in order to help you to know what a healthy relationship looks like and how to attract it. But at least having your mind knowing that a healthy relationship is the goal and the plan. Also, let's talk about this subconscious mind, and then we're going to close. So here's the thing. Sometimes you can try and you're doing all this work to try to get it together, and you're writing in your journal and you're talking to a therapist and you're doing all this stuff and you're not seeing any improvement. Why is that? Why is that? The reason why you're not seeing any forward motion is because you're dealing strictly with the conscious mind and you're not addressing the subconscious mind. You're not cleaning out the pool. If you have a dirty pool, in order to clean it, you have to fill it with good water. You have to. You got to pour good water into that pool in order for the dirty water to spill out. And it's the same thing with this. When you are being debilitated by negative thought forms and beliefs and behaviors, you have to reprogram your mind with positive affirmations or positive meditations. I've created products so that I can help you to be able to quickly. So once you're listening to these, and if you listen to anything after 21 days, it becomes a habit, your subconscious mind clicks. And that's when you start to move and behave in a certain way that you don't have to think about, you don't have to work about. So let me give you a good example. When I wanted to stop eating meat, I knew it wasn't good for me. And so 18, 19 years ago, I did what they call neuroassociation. And I would make myself think of something that would make me throw up or have that gag reflex. And then I would think about meat or think about chicken or think about beef. And I would think about that thing that made me want to throw up. And I would go back and forth until my mind clicked. And now whenever I thought about meat, it made me want to throw up. It's the same thing here. So when you can use positive meditation techniques in order to transform your mind, then now you're putting in new thoughts that work for your advantage so that you automatically are driven on autopilot to do what you need to do and to have the vibrational frequency to attract the person that will be good for you. And so those products are going to be available soon. I'm going to be launching my app called Cup of Love. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have a launch party in Atlanta. So if somehow you can get to Atlanta on July the 27th, please mark your calendars. On July 27th, I'm going to live stream the event. So if you can't get here, please make sure that you're at least here on the live stream, because I'm going to be launching my book, The Science of Attracting Love. I'm going to be launching the app, Cup of Love, and we are going to have an absolute great time as we are transforming people's love lives all over the world. And as you transform your love life, you will see you will transform your life. No matter how good you are doing, you are never doing better than where you would be if you allowed a healthy love, true love, your soulmate into your life. So with all of that being said, I send all of you guys much, much love. And if you need me, I'm here. Visit me at shaybetter.com. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Shay Your Love Coach, and follow me on Facebook at Shay Your Love Diva. And I love you guys so much. Have a blessed and prosperous day. This has been Shay Your Love Diva. Bye, divas and boos. I love you too, sis. Thank you guys so much for your support. I so appreciate you so much more than you know. Bye, you guys. I'll see you next Wednesday.